Hello, my friends. Last week I shared a few ideas regarding the need for children to be allowed to make mistakes. When children are allowed to fail, they learn how to problem solve and grow in confidence. However, when children fail repeatedly and don't have the support to keep trying, they often see themselves as failures. As parents, we need to let our children know failing at something we try is very different from being a failure. Resilience comes from not from failing, but from the experience of learning that you can pick yourself up, try again, and eventually meet a goal. That requires at least some experience of success and lots of emotional support. This week, let's look at how we can work towards finding that delicate balance of reasonable support and protection on one hand and enough independence to foster confidence and competence on the other. What is the best way to teach our children these life skills? How do we build resiliency in a child? This brings to mind the lessons I learned from Mark. Mark was an 8-year-old child who came from a family of basketball players. The entire family were athletes, 5 boys, and each of them were immersed in basketball. They seemed to play hard, work hard, laugh hard, and overall fun family to be around. Mark was the youngest, and his brothers worked with him, so he too could play well. However, one day, Mark's homeroom teacher called his parents to inform them Mark was showing signs of withdrawing at school. He was not turning in his homework and seemed to play alone and avoid his friends. After some questions and investigating, Mark told his parents he was a failure and he didn't want his friends to find out. Mark's mother and father were devastated how their confident little boy saw himself as a failure. How could this be? First, it was important for Mark's parents to learn children are very perceptive, but horrible interpreters. Mark perceived, and rightfully so, that basketball was important in his family. He saw how much his entire family loved the sport and were good at it. However, he was having trouble learning skills his brothers had mastered long ago. Most importantly, through some conversations, they learned Mark was not as interested in basketball and did not know how he could still be part of his family if he kept failing in basketball. His parents made the right changes in the home environment to help Mark be successful, not in basketball, but most importantly, at being himself. With some guidance and open discussion, they decided what they needed to point out and live better was they were first and foremost a family team. It didn't matter if they played basketball or not. They were there to support one another. They soon discovered Mark loved to ride horses. Yes, he sometimes fell off, but he got up. He was succeeding at being Mark. The lesson I offer today is to be watchful. We want our children to be resilient, but also themselves. Yes, there are times our children have to do hard things they might not enjoy, and it's part of life. For example, a child might find math or reading difficult, but we help them find ways to move forward, experience a few failures and successes. We can help them discover literature they enjoy and point out how math skills are used all throughout life. I remember when my son Jeremy discovered how important it was to understand math when grocery shopping for the needs and wants on a list. This connection made its way to the homework table. Most importantly, our children learn we are beside them, we believe in them, we are watching, we are present as they discover the successes and failings of life. Parenting is a journey, and you as parents are not alone. These wonderful children do not come with instruction manuals, and each is so beautifully different from another. Therefore, if you need extra support, I am here. See you next week.